thanks for taking time and joining us today. Can you
It's a pleasure.
start by giving a little bit of history on you and what brought you to AU?
Okay, good. So my name is Bertrand de Peufeilhoux. I'm French. It's easy to notice. I work for a French company, which is Bouygues Construction. It's a major actor in French business landscape and in Europe. We have activities all over the world, construction activities, but we are belonging to a very big group, Bouygues Group, which has activities as energy and services, also media, telecom, very large group. And so my company, Bouygues Construction, accounts for more than 32,000 people around and has different activities in construction and on all types of projects, whether bridges, tunnels, data centers, housing, public building, and so on, offices and so on. And my background, after more than 10 years, I spent more than 10 years as a structural engineer on major and iconic projects. And I worked a lot with Gratec in France at this time, with a lot of Gratec tools. After that, I took the turn on the beam, I think maybe six years ago, and to organize beam deployment in my company as beam software manager, or things like that. And 4 years ago, I joined a transformation project, which is called BRIC, and which mission is to modernize our business and to see how we can work differently and to be more efficient and so on and so on. And so that's my background. And it's my third AU. I was there twice, I think 5 years ago as BIM software manager. And here, today, I was speaker yesterday for a class on productization.
Yeah.
And it was quite cool to share with the ecosystem, to share this transformation we are implementing in our company. And it is a fact that it's impossible to transform our company alone. So it's really important for us to speak with architects, to speak with clients, to speak with other editors, as Gratec, to see, okay, Bouygues Construction, a big group, we are going this way. Do you want to go with us? How we can work with you with this new mindset and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. I got to hear you speak a couple weeks ago over in France. You were kind enough to come into the Gratec leadership and speak with all of us. And so I was just really inspired by what you were doing on the productization side. I think you guys are really putting into practice a lot of what has been talked about over the last several years, and that's amazing. What made you decide to kind of take the turn into BIM and productization?
It's a good point. I think that we have learned lessons from BIM. BIM is cool. I'm fond of BIM, but we saw that in our company, or maybe in France mostly, BIM was often only for engineering. We are people on site, and maybe it's the main people of our company because it's the workmen, and people on site are not using BIM at all. And when we tried to understand why, we understood that they weren't using BIM because it wasn't exactly how their BIM model wasn't really what they have to consider as geometry, as information, and so on. And during the session I made for the Gratec Summit, I took this example of the door. I don't know if you remember. And explaining that for an architect, a door, it's a way to connect two rooms.
Right.
That's right. And if I am a structural engineer, when I see a door, I see an opening in a concrete wall, and I understand that I have a reinforcement in my lintel to calculate, okay? But if I am someone on site, I have another view. I have a view to consider that my wall, I will have to pour it in a cycle. My door, I will have to create something to buy something to create this opening. And because I have a shift, I will have to put electrical stuff in my wall.
Right.
And that's another view. And we realized that in our BIM model, we weren't able at this time to create this, what we call construction view. And that's the beginning of the reflection, saying, okay, how do we would be able to make appear this construction view? First point. And the another point was to see, okay, our industry, our global industry has many challenges. Obviously, climate emergency, we spoke about that. We have to find ways to reduce the carbon footprint of our project. It's really important. We have to find a way to finance all the regulations we will have to take into account for sustainability. And so there is a momentum to say, okay, now we have to do something. And also it is a fact that sadly there is a really lack of productivity in our industry. And we believe that industrialization will be the solution. But when we speak about industrialization, we don't think to only standardize the product. We want to standardize the process. That's quite different. And also, and especially in France, we have a immense scarce of skilled workforce. And so we try to understand, say, okay, how can we simplify the way to build? Similarly, as IKEA, we always speak about IKEA, but IKEA is so cool. And so how can we simplify the way to build? How can we create assembly instructions as Lego to build a building and so on, things like that. So we have these two beginning for our reflections. Okay, we have to create something for people on site, and we have to do something differently to reach all these challenges, all these main points. And Bouygues Construction decided to adopt a strong partnership with another software editor. It's Dassault System. Sorry, we are not the best, but it's like that. But it was maybe the beginning. Maybe tomorrow we can do this with Autodesk, but we began with Dassault System. And when we began to work with them, we share this vision, and step by step we have built a long-term vision saying, okay, what we want to do is to see a construction site as no more as a place to transform materials, but a place to assemble products. And okay, products which could have been prefabricated, but it's not mandatory. This product could be pre-assembled near to the site, in microfactories and things like that. And step by step, we have built this productization vision. And what was cool is that we met a lot of building companies who shared also this vision. And I think, and it is a case here, I think that we are quite convinced now to have made the right choice, the right path to transformation.
Yeah, I think there's a lot there. One of the things that really stands out to me on the door analogy, going back to that, is it's a great illustration to put the finger on the pulse on an issue that's happening in throughout the industry. It's that everybody looks at it from a different vantage point. So we're all looking at the same thing, but we're using different words to describe. And so we're talking past each other, and that leads to disruption there and people getting upset with each other. And then, the contracts come out and everybody starts getting mad at each other. What's a challenge that you see as we start to shift towards kind of the industry 4.0 and try to bring more productization in? What's a challenge that we as an industry have to overcome?
I think that the first thing, I'm sure we will be able to increase quality of our product, of our project. I mean, if I am the client, I will be very happy that my general contractor would be mastering his variability. So, okay, I can propose more. It has this price, but I'm totally sure it's possible. Today, it's not the case, really. Today, we have a meeting with the client saying, okay, it's not totally what I know, but no, it's not possible. And what we want to do, it's similarly as IKEA, all this productization company, say, okay, we have several choices. We are mastering totally. And because we have modularized our project, because we have standardized our interfaces, because we have reduced variability, similarly as IKEA. IKEA did all this. Because all of that, we are able to propose to client something like a car configurator. Say, okay, let's choose. You have a large panel of choice. I can do everything, but pick what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a really important point to see that with that, client will have a more choice. They will have a unique result made of standard component. Understand? And that's always the analogy of Lego. With Lego, it's so cool. You can do everything, but with standard component.
Right.
And so for me, that's the first interest. And the challenges, I think that the challenges is that we can do it partly. We have to be a leader for us, a general contractor, and to bring our ecosystem with us. It's not something we can do alone. And if we want that productization will be a success, we have to find ways that everyone will win something in this. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's very important for us to share the cake. So, okay, we will generate a lot of value thanks to industrialization, productization. How can we share this cake? If for instance, if I work with a subcontractor and I tell to the subcontractor, I will pick you a part of your engineering, which is my idea because I have tools to automatize this. How can I simplify his work, and how can I share the cake with him to say, okay, you will give me that, but you will be more efficient, you will earn time, you will earn money, and it will be good for everyone. That's a challenge for me.
Yeah. How do you go about changing the perception of productization and the modular, that everything's gonna look the same? How do you change that perception and get people excited about coming into the space?
In fact, we worked a lot on fun fact during the pandemic. We worked a lot on health topic, and we try to do productization on senior care home project because it was a topic of this moment. And when we worked on that, first we failed because we were learning, and so we thought that we have to industrialize at the scale of the room, global room, and we saw that if we are so large, we will standardize the product. And we step by step we learned that we have to cut later. To find the right balance between some things, some modules as big as possible to bring some value, to encapsulate some unproductive interfaces we will solve, but not too big because it has to be simple to code, to program, and not too big because if we are too big, we will standardize the product. So it's a balance to find. It's quite tough. I think that it's the more important, the more difficult thing to do in productization is to find this way to cut a building or a project at the right place, and after that to be able to standardize the interfaces.
How do you know where the right place is?
We don't. In fact, we don't know. We did it with a good mindset, saying, okay, we think that it's a good place, and I believe a lot of the feedbacks from the site, and we will test it, and we'll change, adapt if it is needed to find this right place. I think that no one knows everything on that, and we will have to test. Maybe for some, it will be different for some different type of project, and we'll learn and we'll adapt. I'm sure that it's a startup point of view, but I'm sure it's.
No, I think it's an important point of view on the need to be agile. If you try to lay everything out and rigidly map it out in place, then you're going to lock yourself into things.
And it's a big shift for us because we are, in French we say we are the concrete king. So we are a construction company and not a software editor company. And we are shifting on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
We are shifting to be editors company, developing some tools, some industrialization tools. And we have to do some backlogs. It's really new for us. We have to do some tests, some versioning, we have to do some to put in an agenda of release.
Right.
It's so new things, and step by step we are transforming ourselves too, to go in this way and to say, okay, maybe general contractor as us will have tomorrow 2 main works to develop, to be software editor, to develop and maintain these modules that we call it bricks, and also to be bricks integrators in our project. So, okay, I'll just pick the right thing and configure it and assemble it as we did with Lego. And maybe after that, one day, we will be able to sell it to another company or to integrate bricks coming from every company and so on. And it's coming. We are seeing coming.
Nice. What's a kind of a key learning that construction should look towards manufacturing and pull into the construction space?
Productivity. I think that productivity is obviously that's that, and that also I think that manufacturing. I don't know it's the term in English, but in French we say cycle en V, V cycle.
Okay.
We design and we build what we have designed, and nothing to say. On the construction site, it's not always like that. There's a lot of changes time, last minute, and it's a mindset we have to change. And manufacturing, for that, it's cool. You are work order. You say what you. I do what I said. I said what I do.
Right.
And I think it's a great thing we can learn from manufacturing. And there's a lot of things to take from this industry also. And we have to adapt it with the specificity of construction or of our construction side, because it's there's a lot of it's an ecosystem really open, a lot of different stakeholders, of different partners. It's a lot of things to adapt, but we have to find the good balance to say, okay, on this scope, I can industrialize, I can have a manufacturing mindset, and go I produce.
Then again, it goes back to having that agile mindset and kind of taking little bite-sized pieces and then scaling up where you find success and being willing to change it and adapt it as you go.
It's a tough thing, and it's my my everyday fight to explain to my top management that we won't do everything in one time.
Right.
We have to, maybe that we will have to fail first to learn. But it's sure that we what we have to avoid, it's the tunnel effect. To be okay, we'll do something perfect. Let's see you in 3 days, in 3 years. And no. We have to be really agile and to have a time to market. In fact, really really slow, really short, in order to develop something, test it really quickly, to have really quick feedbacks from the construction side, from our experts, and they are telling the truth strongly. So it's often quite clear to see, okay, it is a good choice. It is a good opportunities of industrialization, and how can we move forward and to adapt, develop, and after that it's a continuous improvement, I think, of our development. But yeah, it's really, really important to be as close as possible of our end user or consciousness side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the big technology trends that has been talked a lot about during AU this year is with AI. Where do you see AI fit into all this, or is it a disruptive force coming in, or how do you harness it?
To be honest, for the moment, we don't have used so much AI in our development. I'm quite proud to have used ChatGPT before it was quite forbidden in the company. We have tested one thing on another, not so much. But it's clear that we choose to begin with our business rules we are knowing at the moment. Mm-hmm. So it was first thing to code, first thing to capitalize, virtualize. But after that, it's sure that AI will bring so much. Mm-hmm. But AI needs data. So AI needs that we have begun to deploy a little, mm-hmm. Not only a little, quite.
Needs a lot of data.
A lot, and so I think that it's for us too soon to think of AI. It's cool. It's something we are really curious, and it's a really good point to say that it's a major thing to remember of this AU, automatic AI. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, at the moment, we are using generative design, but generative design with something directly parametrical from our data, and not using data for the projects and so on.
Interesting. So, last couple questions here. What does the phrase "modeling the future"? What do you think of when you think that phrase?
It's the right phrase. Obviously, I'm okay with that. It's there is a ing, so it's a process.
Yeah,
I like that. Obviously, we are doing this for the future. We're doing it because we are really optimistic for the future of our industry. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of challenges to face, but it has never been done. Okay, but it's cool to be the first. No, it's cool to see that now. I think that planets are aligned. Mm. We have always we expect to do that, and when you say modeling the future, I understand that we have to be a leader. We have to be part of it, and that's what Bouygues Construction want to do, to be a pioneer. It's a new buzzword in our company, but it's really important to be a pioneer.
Yeah,
and we want to go first, to be a leader, and to bring with us all our ecosystem to model the future.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like the word pioneer in it as well too. So one of the main topics that we like to focus in on is around innovation. Yeah. What does innovation mean to you?
A lot of things, obviously. Innovation for me, it's not only a tool topic or quite geek aspect. Innovate, it's also to do differently, to do better, and to do maybe to think out of the box. It's something really important for us because in our industry we have a long history. We have a lot of experts. We are quite convinced to do the right way, and maybe what is a more complicated thing in our project is to explain that maybe if we change of point of view exactly from the doors, if you see, let's think if you are another space, or if you are someone outside or someone architect, and when we change this point of view, we can see the world and our project differently, and to say, okay, maybe my solution was perfect for me, but I'm not alone in this project. What could be the right compromise? What would be the right way to be more efficient, more productive? And I think that innovate is also to think differently, and to be in a new way to understand a project and to see this future. Obviously, I'm a geek too, but that's not only this point. And I think that for me, innovation is much more to think out of the box.
Yeah, I agree. We're all geeky about something, you know. But yeah, I agree. You got to change your perspective and be willing to change your perspective. How do people find out more information or connect with you?
I'm. You can give my email address or my LinkedIn profile, so on. I will be happy to share with anyone. As I did with our class yesterday. Obviously, it's really important for us to share our journey, our transformation journey, to share with the ecosystem, to get feedbacks. I got thrilling feedbacks from the Great Tech Summit, and it's really important for us to exchange and to say, okay, let's speak 5 minutes about productization. Let me explain to you why I think it's a good transformation for our industry. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you can explain me why. But no, it will be a pleasure to exchange and to see and to meet other companies who will adopt productization too.
Awesome. Last question for you. If I could give you all construction power, you could snap your fingers, innovate one thing, what would you want to innovate?
It's a good thing. I would change the mindset of people, maybe in our company, to begin in our company, to be okay to accept the change, because I'm quite sure that our project and productization is not a tool topic or a geek topic. It's a mindset. It's a human project before everything, and my superpower would be to be able, in one click, to convince anyone that we don't have to think too much, and we have to go and to test and to go in this direction, because we are quite sure that we are pretty sure that it's the right way.
Yeah, that'd be a good superpower. I like that superpower.
Cool.
Could be dangerous, but that's good. Thanks so much for taking the time and having the conversation.
Thank you so much. It was a cool time, and it's a real opportunity for me to share with you, and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd.
Absolutely. Thanks.